sit right back and hear them tell the tale of a podcast crew who gather around their mighty drink to give their point of view. Hazman is the panel spy, he shows that he has fun, and Donnie our host will jump along, guiding us through the storm, guiding us through the storm. Big T's our rock, he keeps us true, he often gets his say, and just alive he knows the girls will everything dragons win, and everything dragons win. The Mad Dragon podcast is a journey unforeseen, with Hazman and Donnie to do, and there's Big T and Coco, just the start, Mazza and the other crew, here on the Mad Dragon podcast.
Well, g'day Dragons fans and welcome to the Mad Dragons podcast. It is here. It's now. Season 2024 as we usher in the era of Flano. Yes, it's back in fashion. At least it is from Cogra to the Gong. This Saturday, we show the fine people of the Gold Coast what the Dragons way is all about. Get ready to be back and beaten. Here come the mighty Dragons. Hazman's not on just yet, Hazman is on. Here he is. Straight on, straight into it. Hazman.
We're on time as always.
Going, mate? Well, just on time, and time for you to do the honours and take us through the Dragons team list, mate.
Alrighty. So the fullback is Tyrell Sloan, Zach Lomax and Michaeli Ravalawa on the wings, Moses Sully and Jack Bird in the centres, Flano and Ben Hunt at the halves. The front row is Frankie Molo and Blake Laurie. Jacob Little, who, along with Laurie, was under a bit of a fitness cloud. They've obviously passed, which is fantastic. Second row, Tom Eisenhuth, Jaden Sewer, Jack DeBell unlocking the scrum. And on the bench, we've got Connor Molaison, Michael Molo, Viliami Fafita, and Raymond Fatala Mariner. And the coach is Shane Flanagan.
Fantastic, mate. That's we will get into that squad a little bit later, but before we do get into it, let's do this.
Come with me as we go behind enemy lines.
Behind enemy lines, round one, the Titans at Seabus. Before I bring in our guest, he's been on many a time, a good friend of the podcast. I run through the Titans team. Keanu Kinney at the back. On the wings are Carl Pereira and Philip Sami. Brian Kelly and AJ Brinson, surprise positioning for him, in the centres. The ageing Kevin Foran and Tanner Boyd in the halves. Mo Whatuwako, Chris Randall, and Pino Suamala-Awi in the front row. Khalees Haas, both firm in the second. Keenan Palacia locks the scrum. On the bench, Sam Verrills, Isaac Liu, Aaron Clark, Jamin Jolliffe, coached by Desi Hasler. Joe Stimson, 18th man. Okay, let's bring him in. Blaze, how are you, my friend?
Mate, I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm absolutely ready to rock and roll, that's for sure. It's going to be a big weekend, man. We've been waiting for a long time in regards to rugby league getting back, and we get to go to the glorious Gold Coast, the best place to live in the entirety of the country, baby. So, looking forward to a good game.
Yeah, BKR Sport and also the Titans Frontline podcast with Clarkie. Hey, that's a big one.
Yeah, no, myself and Clarkie, I've known him for a very long time now. We're really close, and it's good that we started up that podcast around June of last year with a win actually against the Tigers. But then again, that's pretty much what every team gets to say. Overall, man, it's a good time that we actually just finished finishing that podcast just before we jumped on here. So you guys, as I said before, probably wouldn't like what we were having to say there in regards to others that we have going in this game. But yeah, no, it's good to have a podcast where we can talk all things Gold Coast because we haven't really had the representation before in the past.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Well, we're not here to talk about 2023. Not a good year for either of us.
Yeah, please, no.
2024, 2 trials, beaten in both of them, 26-14 and 26-16. At least you made up 2 more points in the second game. Not a lot of movement in the player market. Is the new coach, the answer?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah, no, I have no concerns. I think that in regards to the trials, man, you saw us have an incredible game actually against the Dolphins. The Dolphins played their full team against a team that had not a single one of our 17 in it. Like not a single player in our 17 were in that game. And we were leading with 30 minutes to go in that game against the Dolphins. So I was really impressed with the likes of Tommy Weaver, and I could go into a whole bunch of our depth plays that we don't really need to go on here. But overall, the preseason was... Desi Hasler is always known as a guy that doesn't really care too much about the preseason. He's infamous for it, actually. When he was at Manly, at the Doggies, he would throw whoever out there and they would get pumped, right? And then go on to be in the grand final. So I'm not concerned at all based off of that. And Des Hasler, it's an incredibly exciting time because every time he's gone to a new club, he's took that team to a grand final in his first year. So, no, I'm not concerned about Des Hasler at all. I think he's the perfect man for the job and the first time we've had a premiership winning coach as a coach before.
Yeah, nice. I don't mind Des Hasler a coach, but he left the Bulldogs in turmoil when he left there. AJ Brimson moved to the centres to accommodate little Preston at the back. What dynamic does that bring to the team?
Oh, well, I love that because he's obviously alongside Philip Samian. They're best mates, right? They've grown up together. They've come through the system together. Him and we've had a bit of a questionable time in the centres department kind of throughout our history. So AJ going to the centre, we know that a lot of fullbacks going to that centre department work out quite well. So I'm really excited to see it. He's alongside his best mate, Sammy. We've already got Brian Kelly and Alofiana Khan-Pereira, who scored 20 tries in his rookie debut season for the club as a youngster, right? So I just think it makes it really just enhances an already attacking back line. And AJ is also known as quite a defensive player as well. So, no, I think that it really benefits us. And with Desi Hasler looking to really adjust the culture into not just being simply attack and chase us down, because fun fact, teams will chase you down. We found that out the hard way many a time. So, yeah, I think he's changed the adjustment, and I think it's going to go well for us, yeah. Yeah,
I think both your edges look pretty good. Kelly and Khan-Pereira on the other side, they're both finishers, so that's going to make it a bit more difficult. And they're all fast, so we might be in for a bit of struggle there. All right, we played you twice in round one. Once at Suncorp, then once at Skill Park, I think it was back in the day. We beat you both times. And if you count last year, our first game, we beat you 3 times in round one. Is that going to be a new Titans hoodoo? I hope it is.
That's funny because last year when we played you at Seabus, though, it was a little bit of a different story. Zach Lomax forgot his kicking boots and Toby Sexton decided to score a try. So, look, I remember the first ever game the Titans ever played was against the Dragons back in 2007 at Suncorp. So, look, obviously no. The answer to that question is no. But no, I think that, look, I'm pretty confident going into this game, but I can also understand why Dragons fans feel like they've got an opportunity as well.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Sorry, it's gone out of my head. Why are the Titans and where are the Titans going to beat the Dragons on Saturday night?
Honestly, man, I'll say this to you right now. This is what we were talking about in the podcast. Get a dartboard out and throw it, and wherever it lands is the answer, in my personal opinion, because I think that in regards to the fullback, I'm interested to see how Tyrell Sloan does go. He's obviously very well inconsistent, and I think that in regards to Keanu Kinney, he's a youngster that's played for the New Zealand A, which is just below New Zealand, in regards to the forward position, and killed it there. So he's getting his first opportunity outside of when he took on the Panthers, he took on the Warriors, and he took on another really good team last year, I think the Rabbitohs as well. So he was a bit of a trial by fire. So I think that we win that fullback battle right now. But then again, I understand that Dragons fans will go into that saying, we don't know what he's like. I know what he's like. You guys don't. In regards to the 2, 3, 4, and 5 battle, the Dragons are in a bit of an interesting situation where there's a lot of inconsistency there. I do think Zach Lomax is being wasted out in the wing, to be completely honest with you. I think that He's very inconsistent, but I just feel like he's being wasted out there. He needs the ball more, and I think centre is fine, or even back at that fullback, which is being touted. I just think the pace that we're going to have going into this game with the likes of Phil Sammy, who's chased down out of cover 4, you've got Lofiana Khan-Pereira, you've got AJ Brimson, and you've got Brian Kelly. I just really do like that matchup there in regards to the back line. You got the halves. I think that's a bit of an interesting one because Ben Hunt and Kieran Foran are similar, and Tanner Boyd and Kyle Flanagan are similar. I do give the edge to Tan, but I also think that Ben Hunt and Kieran Foran, it's a really kind of it's a good matchup. Good matchup because you get the experience there, and they're both the same age. They're both 33 years old, but it just comes down to Kieran Foran wants to play for the Gold Coast Titans comparatively to Ben Hunt. And then sure he has. Yeah, sure he has.
He loves the club now.
Okay, you know what? I'll let you guys have it for the sake of the discussion.
Go back to the Zach Lomax move. I think they'll move Sloan to the wing, and then Lomax will move to the centre behind the play the ball and play more of a role that Nathan Blacklock played. Just being in the middle. That's my thought anyway. That's maybe what he wants to do with him. Give him a bit more freedom because he's more than locked in the centres. So hopefully he wanted to give him that freedom.
Well, as Dragons fans, you'll know way more about that than I will, just like I know more about Keanu Kenny than you guys will, right?
Yeah,
so I understand what you're saying there. But I do think that the hardest pill to swallow for the Dragons fans will be that forward pack battle. You've got a basically Queensland origin team there in Tina Fa'asuamaleaui. You've got Moeki Fotuaika. You've got Bowie Firma, who was knocking on the door before his injury. And you're lucky that Dave Fafita's not playing. But we do have Chris Haas. And it's interesting to see what Desi's doing with Sammy Verrills and Chris Randall, where he started Chrissy Randall and he's bringing Sammy off the bench. But I don't know. I'm really excited, man. I just think that forwards battle, if we lose the forwards battle, I'll be incredibly disappointed. I can understand maybe where the backline battle could be won by the Dragons, maybe.
Oh, cool. And I was disappointed that Isaac Fa'asuamaleaui wasn't in the side, so I didn't have to. I would have to say Fa'asuamaleaui twice because I like saying that name. It's a fun name.
It's better than what Blocker says. Blocker calls him Tino Fa'asuamui, so you've done better than him already.
Too funny. Yeah, but I do like saying Tino or Isaac Fa'asuamaleaui. When I hit my toe on the table, I say Fa'asuamaleaui.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's an old story. Has anyone else?
Well, Blaze, you've got to remember, Steve Roach may be a physical giant, but he's not a mental one.
Oh no! As a live stream on YouTube, man, I can promise you, I know exactly what you're saying. That is our biggest complaint, week in, week out. So, no,
he's a nice enough guy, but he's an idiot.
Anybody else got anything for Blaze?
We are trying to get Blocker on this show a couple of times, so he's cool.
So sorry.
I do have one for you, Blaze.
Sorry, lads. Yeah, you're gone.
You bought Keenan Palacia from the Broncos. One of the reasons why the Broncos made their grand final squad, mainly off the bench for the Broncos last year. He's gone straight into your starting side. What do you think Keenan Palacia brings to your team?
I think that, firstly, Jesse, good to see that you don't have a Rabbitohs logo anymore like you did on Instagram. But also, secondly, look, I'm really intrigued to see what Palacia does. Obviously, mainly a bench rotation front rower for the Broncos last year, but did run the exact same amount of meters as Payne Haas did in the grand final with 30 less minutes. So that tells you everything you need to know about what Keenan Palacia can do. Going to the 13, Isaac Liu's been injured for the most of the preseason, so I don't know whether Liu will actually start and you'll see Palacia go to the bench. We all know, well, for not the younger generation, people who know Desi Hazlitt knows that just because it's on the team list doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen, right? So I could easily see Isaac Liu still go to that 13, Palacia to go onto the bench, or even Tino playing as the 13 with Palacia playing as the 10, but the numbers are switched. So I just know what Desi can do, right? So I think that, Palacia is a massive inclusion. People underrate what he did for the Broncos in the final series and that grand final. And, I'm looking forward to seeing what he can provide for sure.
You just got a bit of a comment on the screen there from Grant Bell, because you said we're lucky that David Fafita's not playing. Well, You're unlucky that Viliami Fafita is making his debut for the Dragons. So, you must be shaking in your boots, the big fella running at you this weekend. You'll be fired up.
Listen, I don't know if I'll be able to sleep properly tonight, to be honest with you. I really don't. That's a terrifying thought process. I do have him in my super coach, so for 204,000, I'm pretty okay with Viliami Fafita getting a crack there. But listen, I might have to get some help in regards to what he can provide comparatively to David Fafita.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, same, man. You know, it was actually funny, right? The Bulldogs are doing the same thing that you guys are doing right now with that because they just signed Daniel Saluka Fafita. So, like another content creator like myself, his name is Winston. He's posting, "We signed Fafita, and it was just Daniel Saluka Fafita. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, no, it'd be good to see the youngster get some crack though. Like, he's up against a really good Titans forward pack and under a Desi team that Desi knows how to get the best out of his forwards.
And Flano would know that. Flano would know that as well. It looks like they're going to play a tough style of play in the forward, so I think it's going to be an intriguing battle of the packs.
If we lose that forward pack, I'll be disappointed, mate. I'll be. If we lose that forward battle, I will be extremely disappointed. I will have a major question mark about this team because on paper, and obviously I know rugby league isn't all on paper, but on paper there is no way that our forward pack, in my personal opinion, should be losing to the Dragons forward pack in this game.
We're superstars, mate.
Be prepared to be disappointed.
Well,
Yeah,
all right.
I'd agree
Flano
with
will have
that.
them fired up.
What was that? Sorry.
Flano will have them fired up.
Well, you could say, you know, what's interesting with the Dragons and Titans is that we both are, like, I feel like we've got a bit more of a young and exciting players coming up. But with that being said, that Shane and Des, we're both in very similar positions where a whole new coach is coming through. We've both got premiership winning coaches. Maybe our premiership winning coach isn't as dubious as Flano. But with that being said, like, overall, Flano is my mum's a Sharks fan, right? So she's from Cronulla. So I always, respected Flano until the situation, but they still won the premiership in 2016.
Nice. Is that it, guys? You got it done? Mother, anything to say?
No, I'm all good. Said my bit.
Sweet. Anyway, well, this is the time of the evening. I'd like to take a walk down memory lane.
There we go.
The game we go back to is 2010 round 6 at Skill Park, now called Seabus. It's a Friday night football. Referees Tony Archer and Jason Robinson in front of 21,000 parochial Titans fans. Titans kick off and Dan Hunt returns the ball. First try in the 19th minute. Anthony Frankie tackles Darius Boyd. Gives him a sly elbow. Darius Boyd gets up and plays the ball. Him and LaFranchi have a bit of a pleasantries together. While that was happening, Matt Cooper grabbed the ball, scooted over and scored a try. Jamie Sauer converts, Dragons 6-0. Unfortunately for the Titans, Rat Rogers has taken off in the 27th minute and doesn't return. Bad luck. Well, that's it. Half time. Dragons 6, Titans 0. Second half, Dragons kick off. Michael Henderson returns the ball. 48th minute, Jamie Sauer puts a bomb up so high that it came down with snow. Who said white men can't jump? Ben Cray, an ex-basketballer, jumps over the top to Titans' defence and grounds the ball using Will Zillman's leg to guide the ball to the ground. Jamie Sauer converts, Dragons 12-0. Dragons continue the onslaught. And in the 61st minute, Darius Bourne breaks down the left-hand side of the field, 20-20 he went. Played the ball from Cooper to Hornby, Young to Sauer. The defence opens up like Moses in the Red Sea. Speed and elegance breaks through without being touched. Scores under the post. He converts his own try. Dragons 18-0. 73rd minute was all over. Jamie Sauer kicks a field goal to score his 11th point for the game. Dragons 19-0. Late in the game, after the Dragons have put the baby to bed, Michael Henderson goes over the line from close range. Try converted. 19-6 full time. As I always say, Donnie, the rest is history, and we know what happened that year. Back to you in the central box.
Thanks, Big T. Well, I might just go back to Blades for the final say. Well, not the final say, because we'll talk plenty behind your back after you leave. But
Do you want my final say?
Absolutely, mate. Go for it.
All right. So final say is that was a lovely game that we got a nice little memory of. But let's talk about 2022 at Seamus Super Stadium with a nice little Toby Sexton try in the 78th minute of the game when we should have been down by 8, but wait a second, we weren't because someone forgot their kicking tee. But overall, look, it's going to be. Look, I'm very confident in this game, which is something that Titans fans really shouldn't be. Obviously, we've had a long history in regards to, well, not long, but long for us, history in regards to kind of building ourselves up with this fresh start and then under-delivering in regards to that. But this time around, I'm genuinely believing in what Desi Hazlitt can provide. I'm saying that you guys are going to hate this. You guys are going to hate about what I'm about to say. But I'm saying Titans win this game 38-10.
Whoa!
Yeah.
What's that? I'm saying Dragons are going to win 28-12.
The 28. You reckon you're going to beat us by 16 points? You wish.
Yeah. We're a super team. Wait,
I reckon the Dragons win this by 20. I don't see how we lose.
Blaze.
Don't see how we lose.
Every year.
Oh, you know I love you guys in this podcast, but no. If we lose by 18 points, guys, I'm moving to Tajikistan. All right, I'm moving to England. I'm moving to somewhere that no one will ever know who I am.
Hope your passport's up to date. You're on your way, mate.
Pack your bag, bro.
To the Siberian Tigers land. You know what I'm saying? Like
Nice.
that's where I'm going. So, but no, I appreciate you guys for having me on. Obviously, good banter, and I'll see you guys as well ahead of the Wollongong game later on in the year that I'll be down for.
That's right. We'll have to meet up when you come to the Wollongong game.
Yeah.
Thanks for being on, man. You're an absolute superstar. Unfortunately, your team's going to go down on Saturday night. And I think most of the Dragons fans are feeling a bit confident as well.
Hey, how about this one, actually? How about this one? Why don't we have like a bet podcast to podcast? Because obviously I've got Gold Coast Titans Frontline podcast with Clarkey, and you guys have this one here. So how about this? Whoever loses has to film the opening intro for the other podcast next week. How about that?
Donnie, you're the filmer.
Yeah, all right. Let's do that.
Yes. All right. It didn't seem so confident then that time, though.
How did you like the intro, by the way, Blaze?
No, it's good. Yeah, no, get around it. You know, like it's all passion, man. At the end of the day, like we're not going to go crazy with that. Like it's just a bit of fun, but. No, I think that'd be a good one. So we've got a little bit of added interest in it, and I know I just made a bet about something that Clarkey has no idea about. So
he'll know.
We'll figure it out.
What do you think about our new intro?
Yeah, no, I thought it was good. Yeah, I thought it was.
All me.
Yeah. Well, don't worry. Next week, your intro will be all me. So don't worry. So,
thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thanks,
but all right, guys.
Time,
you have a good one. Good luck this weekend, and enjoy a bit of Tino for us on Malawi in face. Enjoy a bit of Tino.
You don't really mean that. You don't really mean good luck.
No, I do mean good luck because you guys, you're good people. But in regards to the result. Man. You're not winning nothing, all right? So, but good luck having a good time watching the Titans win. How about that? There we go.
Nice. Thank you very much, mate.
All right, have a good one, guys.
Catch you, mate.
Thanks,
I love heading into round one because everyone's confident.
They are. That's
everyone's
right.
heading in with confidence because, like, he doesn't know what's coming. He doesn't have a clue what's coming. They're going to get absolutely trounced. Like, that's how confident we are. Like, he is certain that the Titans are not only going to win, but they're going to win by nearly 30 points.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, that's how confident he is. Ridiculous. Right. There's no way in the world the Titans win by 28 points. No way in the world.
Right. But again, like
said, he doesn't even realise that he's following a bottom 14. They are no good.
Oh, I said they're going to run. I should have mentioned that. I said they're going to run last.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, but like I said before, everybody's confident.
Yeah, that's the beauty. I think more so this year. More so this year than than other years, I reckon, Big T, because.
We were the same with Hook. We were all excited. We're the new coach. We're going to do it.
We're more excited now under Flano.
I think so. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time. Dragons fans with this happy and confident heading into round one.
Under
And
Wayne,
we're still favourites for the wooden spoon.
What about
Probably under Wayne.
What's everybody say who's watching? Let's have a look. See what you say. Where are we going to finish?
What's that?
Everybody that's watching, put down where do you think we're going to finish in the competition?
Yeah, well, it's
Yeah.
a lot of people have been putting that over the last few weeks leading up to the game.
That's right, yeah.
I know we've got Coco who's just joined us, so we might go into her segment a little bit earlier than we normally do. So the first time we're going to hear from Coco is after this little intro.
Slugging it out in the middle of the field. The Dragon's front row has knocked his block off. His block is knocked off?
It's time to look at the one-on-one battles that will decide the game. Will it be the key position players? Will the fight be won out wide? Or will it be one up front? Strap yourself in for Coco's Clashes!
Hey all, welcome to Coco's Clashes for 2024. Today I'm going through the best three, I think, matchups for the Titans versus Dragons. First of all, I think that is my dog, so I apologise. He wants to tell you what he thinks too. So my first one would be Foreign versus Flanagan. I think the gameplay, and I think with Foreign being like an older player, his experience with, and also Flanagan being young, I think it will be his speed, experience. I'm looking forward to that matchup. Also Boyd and Hunt. I think they will be a good matchup as well, because like Hunt's our captain and he will be doing the game plan, the gameplay, making sure that we're on the game plan and on par. Boyd, I can see from last year how much strength and versatility as a player he is. And also, I need to do some forwards. So Tino versus Laurie. Now, I think I've got that big hits, the strength of them. So that's my matchup. So enjoy the VOD and thank you for watching, everybody. Over to you, Johnny Captain.
Yeah, we might have a look at some of them. I mean, you talk about Tino up against Blake Laurie, and I think that's a big battle. I mean, the big question mark is whether Blake Laurie actually plays or not. But I think in terms of the forward battle, Blaze has sort of talked about how he would be incredibly disappointed if his side doesn't win that forward battle, and I think it's key to this game. I think the Dragons forwards really aimed up in that second trial against the Tigers and showed that they are capable of playing an incredibly physical brand of rugby league. And I don't know whether the Titans want any of that. So I think that's going to be a key matchup, is just how this forward battle does shape up. Jaden Sewer, he looks like he is set for a breakout season. So that. Sewer and Eisenhuth up against Harts and Firma, I think in the battle of the second rowers is going to be absolutely key. We've already seen it over in Vegas. I thought the battle between Olakau'atu and Kaloamatangi was a big reason why Manly won that game, was Olakau'atu getting the better of his opposite man. So I think if your edge forwards are dominating, as I expect Jaden Sewer to dominate this game, I think that'll go a long way to helping us win this contest. So that's my key clash. Man, you got any clashes that you're looking forward to?
Well, I'm looking forward to the forwards battle as well. I think Blakey and Frankie are going to have their work cut out for them, but maybe they can get over the top of them. But I think the game is going to be one of the forwards. I think the backs are kind of pretty much identical sort of skill wise. Titans a lot quicker, but hopefully the defensive work that Flano has been doing with them will stop any 600 tries going down that left side. I suppose Fino's not there, so that should be a problem. Joking, Donnie, joking. I know how much you love him.
I don't give a shit what you say about a bloke that's not there, mate. Bloke not there, I don't care. If he is there, I'm going to support him. I'm going to back him. But if he's not there, fuck him.
I think he's fullback for the
That's so
Rangers,
funny.
Is that how you feel about your buddy Billy Burns now?
He's
Got
fucking
rid
dead
of
to
the
me,
Sharks
mate.
team.
Dead
Dead
to
to
me.
me. He's dead to me.
He didn't even make the Sharks 22 this week.
Of course he didn't. He's bloody hopeless, Jesse. How would he make the Sharks 22? He's bloody mud. He was one of their worst players in both their trials. How's he going to get picked? Who cares what the Sharks do? He's a Shark player. Could not care less about Billy Burns. Never could, to be honest.
Or
But,
Jackson
you know, if you guys like to make fun of it.
Or Jackson Ford, for that matter.
Jackson Ford's a mug. He's a traitorous dog.
Whoa.
Oh, he's going. Look,
It's all right, bud. I still love you.
But-
Even though you
Why
got
does
the
football
strikers,
have
I
a bloody
still love
Bill
you.
Burns?
Jaden Sullivan's mud. His name's Mud now too. No good.
Nah, not to me. He's still my bum. Nah.
Nah.
Well,
If you don't,
apparently
if
his
you,
name is
once you've left the Dragons, that's it. You like Jaden Sullivan will always be one of my favourite Dragons ever. But right now, couldn't care less whether he fails.
Yeah.
He's a
dead.
tiger.
Dead.
All right.
All right. Well, moving into having a bit of a chat about our team. I'll go to you first of all, Muzzer. Injury cloud still hanging over Jacob Little and Blake Laurie. With both of them being named in the starting team, are you expecting them to play, or do you still think it's 50-50?
Yeah, but by reports, I think Jacob Little, I think, is probably more of a chance than Blocker, but I'd expect them both to be there. Yeah, obviously, I think we need Blocker. Only if he's fit, if he's fully fit. I think we'll really miss him if he's not there, just on the back of what he does for the team. On the ball, off the ball, just as one of the enforcers. Little, I think we do need him out of dummy half. I think that breaks down a lot if we've got Connor at number 9, to be honest, that go forward. But, I expect them both to be there. I hope they are, and hope we prove Blakey wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Jesse, let's work on some hypotheticals. Let's say Blake Laurie is out. So if Blake Laurie is out, how are you reshuffling the lineup?
Well, there's no Hame Sele either, so that was my answer. But he's not named in the squad either. I think they might go with they might either promote Michael Milo into the front run on side and maybe bring in Ben Murdoch-Masila onto the bench that's probably the go or Ryan Couchman, but his defense and work off the ball will be missed if he is unavailable. But I expect Molo looked good in the trials, Michael Molo too, and he looked like he was going to play a different role this year. Yes, he lacks that size, but he's got a good motor in him, and I think he wouldn't let the team down if he's called upon to go into the starting side and make that front row rotation with his brother. And Ben Murdoch-Masila, if he's used right, he can be effective in the middle as well. Hook last year used him as an edge back rower, and I think at his age, with his size, he'd be more damaging in the middle of the field. Being a bigger body, he could take it to that Titans pack if used in the right way.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you would be.
Yeah, I think you're right in terms of that's what will happen, what would happen, is that if Blake Laurie's out, then Michael Milo comes in, he starts in the front row, and then Ben Murdoch-Masila comes onto the bench. I think that's what would happen. It's not what I would like to happen. Personally, I'd like to see Michael Milo go to lock. I think he's a good lock forward. Move Jack de Bellin up into the front row rotation. and then bring Ryan Couchman onto the bench rather than Ben Murdoch-Masila. I'm not a big Ben Murdoch-Masila fan, whether it's on an edge, whether it's through the middle. I think his time is done. I think he's past his best, and it's time to look at other options. But in terms of what I think would happen, I think you're right, Jesse. I think, if Blake Laurie is out, then I think your option is what will happen. But it's not. Wouldn't be my first choice.
We've
we've done
Vader as well, actually, but I don't know if he'd be handy putting him in a baptism of fire on his debut. I think he'd be using him off the bench, but Fafita's another option as well.
Yeah, well, he's already on the bench. He could definitely come in to start, but I think they go with Michael Milo. All right, well, we've done the one hypothetical, Hasman. The other hypothetical, if Jacob Little is out, what would you change about the lineup? How would you reshuffle it?
How I do it is Connor Mollison would start, Jesse Marshke on the bench. That's one idea. My other idea was to put Flano at hooker and bring Marshke in at 6.
I think your first option was better.
I think Flano will go with option A.
I think so.
I think he will.
I'm expecting him to.
Yeah, well, I've heard a few people say that Kyle Flanagan is probably the better option than Marshke at 9, and Marshke was pretty impressive in the trials playing in the halves. He plays a faster, up-tempo brand of footy. He's an attacking type option against a Titans team that does have a tendency to leak points. I think going with an attacking 5'8" option like Jesse Marshke wouldn't be the worst idea, Hasman.
Right.
But I do agree that what would happen is that Marshke would come on as a 14 and Connor Mollison would go to 9. That's probably the more defensive option, however.
And it gives Marshke can cover a few more positions off the bench too. Like he can give us a kicking game from dummy half, which is what we haven't had for a few years now.
How much dummy half has he played? He didn't play any during the trials. None. Not a second.
No.
I don't think he's ever played dummy half in his life.
But I think if he does
a lot of halves start in the NRL as a dummy half, so wouldn't be new. So
it wouldn't be new, but I mean Connor Mollison's probably played more in the halves than Jesse Marshke has played at dummy half. You say that Marshke gives us more options, can play more positions, can he?
Well, it's got listed in positions that he can play dummy half. It's got listed he can play halves and hooker. So I know his brother Ben Marshke played for the Roosters a couple of years ago. He played a bit of dummy half, and I read that
he was a 9. Yeah, that was his position.
Yeah, but I did read Jesse played a little bit of 9 as well. So if he does go into 9, gives us another option for kicking, apart from Flano and Ben Hunt.
Yeah, I'm not convinced that he can play 9 all that well. He was named at 14 in that second trial and didn't come on and play 9 when Little went off hurt. They went straight to Connor Mollison. They did not give Marshke a second in at dummy half. So I don't know whether Flano thinks that he can play 9 either. So I think that might be the concern, particularly with the injury worries around Little. That might be a big reason for the next question here, Big T. I've kind of stolen your thunder a little bit, but Rob Bell says he's actually surprised that Connor Mollison has been picked over Jesse Marshke. Do you see some logic behind this decision, or would you prefer the more versatile Marshke?
I think he's gone with a little bit more stability in the NRL. Connor's played in the NRL before, so to start the season off, I think he's gone for a little bit more being settled. Yeah, but I wouldn't mind seeing Marshke come onto the bench and maybe coming on at 5'8", and Kyle Flanagan goes to 9 while he's on, while Connor Mollison has a bit of a rest. But yeah, I don't think Connor's a 90-minute player, but that's why. I don't think he's a 90-minute player, but 90-minute player. So
well, hopefully we don't have to play 90 minutes, Big T.
Sure, yeah. If Little plays, he'll be playing 15, 20 minutes.
All right. Well, Coco. Hang on, where am I? There I am. Coco, Bob Campbell wants to know what's going on with Hame Sele as he hasn't been named and he's once again listed as a week away. It seems like he's been a week away for a month. So Bob Campbell wants to know what's going on with Hame Sele.
Is he fit enough? Is he injured? I'm not too sure. Has something happened at training that we don't know about? Or is he just not up to par yet? Are they waiting for him to be full strength to let him debut back into the Dragons? I'm not sure. What does the panel reckon? What are your theories?
Well, he's listed as injured, so he's got a hamstring issue. But it seems like he's been been out injured for like 1 week away. So after the first trial, he didn't get picked, and the club said, he'll be right for the next trial. And then the Tigers trial came along, and he's not quite right. He'll definitely be right for round 1. Now we're at round 1. They're saying, no, he's still not right. He'll be right for round 2. Like, is something going on that we're not being told? Has he re-injured that hamstring again? Is there another issue that's going on? I mean, what are your thoughts?
How long can I ask? How long does a hamstring injury actually how long can it heal for? Because if it's a hamstring, I think they might need an extra week. I don't know. I don't play football, so how long is the recovery? Sorry, everybody.
It can be up to 6 weeks, can't it?
Yeah, well, it differs. There's the minor hamstring, which is what Jacob Little has got at the moment, is what they call a 14-day hamstring. So it's a very minor sort of nick, which can heal really quickly. But we've seen something similar last season, or it might have been the season before, with Jaden Sullivan, where he was a week away for about 7 weeks, and it just kept going on. It's like, well, what's happening? And what had happened, as we found out later, was that he was about to come back, and then he re-twinged it again. So he sort of re-injured it in trying to come back a bit too soon. Now, that's always the concern with hamstrings, and I guess a bit of a concern heading into this game with Jacob Little as well, with a hamstring issue. If you're pushing back in too quickly, there's every opportunity that he might twinge it again, and it might be better to give him another week rather than rushing him back. And I guess they're taking that conservative route with Sele, but who knows what they're going to do with Little.
Yeah, maybe that's probably why they are saying a week away. Maybe, I agree. Maybe they just want to make sure it's on par, and it's better to wait a week than coming back, play, and then re-injuring it. Yeah. So that's what I want to see him play for the Dragons. I hope that his hamstring does heal properly, and then he can come, because I don't want it to be a waste. Like, we re-signed him, and then he's injured, and then he doesn't get a chance to actually play, because of this injury. So I'd rather wait another week, let the hamstring, do what, rehab, whatever, and then let him play and see how it goes, if that makes sense.
I wouldn't be rushing him either. I mean, the hamstrings are very serious, and if you re-aggravate it, you could spend furthest longer, have a longer stint on the sideline, and we can't afford to have any players on the sidelines for too long. And Hame Sele is one of our key forwards this year, I think, and we can't really afford to lose him for longer periods. So I think Flano's doing it right. Just manage it, and then hopefully he can heal up naturally, and then when he's fully 100% fit, that's when I think Flano would try and ease him back into the top grade.
Yeah, Joe Hickory in the comments. I was on the All Fired Up podcast earlier in the week, and I asked him why Hame Sele wasn't in his team, and he said he didn't expect him to be available. So he's just jumped on in our comments and bragging that he was right. He's got one over me.
He's got a crystal ball.
He's psychic.
Hey, Joe.
Absolutely. Always good fun, those lads. But well, Coco, we might actually say good night to you, because I know you've got to get up early in the morning. So you just wanted to jump on pretty quickly. But yeah, just thanks for joining us tonight, and look forward to having a bit more of a chat on Sunday.
Yes, I hope the Dragons win. I'm guessing Dragons I'll do by 4. And I hope Sloan has a big game because the haters out there love to put shit on him. So come on, Sloan, prove them wrong, buddy. Come on, fire up.
Righto, fantastic.
Bye, guys.
Always
Good night,
love,
everyone. Have a great night.
Coco.
Yeah.
Always love having Coco on. Anyone who saw Coco's ladder during the week knows that she definitely wears her heart on her sleeve. She's copping a bit of shit about it, but I mean that's who Coco is. She doesn't tip with her head; she tips with her heart. She does everything with her heart, and she loves the Dragons. That's where her heart is. So
Well, it does say in the intro, Johnny, Coco's our heart.
it does, mate. I think you nailed it with the lyrics there. Hasman, we'll keep having a look at our team. The Dragons have 3 players making their Dragons debut in Kyle Flanagan, Tom Eisenhuth, and Raymond Fatala Mariner. Which of the 3 do you think will make the most positive difference for the outcome on Saturday? Oh no.
He's frozen.
Hasman. He said he's fixed his internet issues and he won't have any more. They're done. We might just keep Hasman on the screen for a while. Just stunned mullet look. Oh, he's dropped out. He's gone. Oh dear. Well, is it Muzzer? You're on the screen. You've just automatically come up. I'm not sure why. Same question. Which of the three new Dragons do you think is going to have the most positive influence on Saturday's result?
Well, I think it has to be Flano. Flano's got to be he's got to start showing that he's there for a reason, not just because his old man's there. That combination with Benny Hunt is obviously going to be really, really important. But I also think that Tommy Eisenhuth, I think he's just what he brings to the club in the professionalism. He's been part of the Storm system, the Panther system, are both very professional, and I think the guys have learnt a little bit off him in regards to professionalism, obviously with Flanagan as well. But that's definitely going to help him. And I think I said a little while ago, I always thought he was going to be in the 17 and probably the 13. And I think he has to be. But definitely Flanagan has got to stand up and be noticed and put on notice from the start, because the fans are going to be out with knives for him and his old man if he fails. So I think it's got to be him. He's got to make sure it's him. He's got to be the man.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I'll stick with you, Mother, because we've got a bit of a viewer question from Tony Owen to Saints. He looks at the side, wants to know who drops out when Hame Sele and Luciano Leilua are back.
Yeah, well, that's going to be a hard one, isn't it? Obviously, I think a lot will depend on how long they're out and how long the guys that are filling in for them, how they do go. I know everybody sort of said that Michael Milo brings a lot to the side, and he really does. But it might be him that drops out. RFM probably again, just depending on how he goes. I'm really looking forward to see how Fafita goes. I know our young Titans supporter there bagged him a bit, but I think I think I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do because no, he's not David Fafita, but I really think given a fair go, he can really be valuable for us. So probably between those two and between Molo and Fafita and the 3 guys on the bench, I guess. Yeah.
Yep. Another viewer question. I'll go to you, Hasman, since you've managed to get back on. And this one comes from some other guy by the name of Jesse Godfrey. He thinks it's a bit strange that 2 wingers have been named on our extended bench. What are your thoughts? No, same look. Absolutely dumbfounded. It's just not happening. I don't know what's going on with his internet, but big team.
I hope he's got to pay his bill.
He's still
Pay his bill.
He's still thinking of the answer.
Yeah.
He's stunned. He's speechless.
He's got
Big
the
T. Big T, what are your thoughts, mate?
Pardon?
What? So we've got two wingers named on our extended bench. Jesse thinks that's a little bit strange. What are your thoughts?
I think maybe Flanagan's just making it up. I don't know, but no, they weren't even going to start, so we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, well,
Really?
again,
Really?
I don't think we do. I don't think it makes any difference. I think you could have 4 wingers named on the bench. If they're not playing, then what does it matter?
No, that's right. Exactly right. Yeah, we want 17, and I'm also thinking that NRL should bring in an 19th man, so you can name a back and a forward. And if a back goes down, you put your back out. If a forward goes down, you put your forward out. So make it a little bit more fairer.
Yeah, I hate it when you put your back out, though.
That's exactly right. Yeah, I don't like that at all.
Well, Hasman, let's try this again. No, he keeps coming back on. It keeps freezing. Doesn't seem to be working for him tonight.
Geez, I thought I had trouble.
Yeah, he might need to go. It's 5G. It's not all it's cracked up to be. Maybe go back to 4G.
Hat collection you got behind you there, Mother. Impressive hat collection. Are they all yours?
Yeah, mate, that's a portion of them.
Wow.
I think the last count I had 78. I think the last count. I've acquired a few.
I only get one a year. Like, so I get one for me every year.
Yeah, birthdays, Christmases, Father's Day. Oh, I feel like going out and buying one.
That's impressive, my friend. Impressive.
I've got another one on the weekend added to the collection.
Nice.
Yeah, poor old Hasman. I might go to you with that. The question I was going to go to Hasman with Muzzo. Just on Billy Arming for Peter, what are you expecting from the young bloke on debut?
Yeah, like I just said, Donnie, I'm looking forward to seeing what he does bring. He didn't in some of those games in New South Wales Cup. He didn't impress a great deal, and in some games, he was making runs. He was tackling. He was backing up. He was excuse me. But I just think with his size and his durability, I think we can get a little bit out of him off the bench. And I just there's not a lot to go on, to be honest. But for some reason, I'm just feeling really, really excited about what he can bring.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot of people, ever since he arrived at the club, they look at the size of him, and the size of him alone is enough to get you excited, and rightfully so. He is an enormous human. If he can use that bulk and size anywhere near its full effectiveness, then he's going to be an absolute weapon for us. We saw him during the trials. I thought his work rate. I still think his work rate needs a bit of work. So I think he needs to increase the amount of work that he actually gets through in a game when he is out there, because he's going to be used as an impact player. If you're going to be used as an impact player, guess what? You have to have an impact. So he makes one good run, and you go, Jesus Christ, he goes all right, this bloke, and then you don't, like, he's out there for another 20 minutes and you don't see him again. So that's the part that I'd love to see him develop a little bit more and want the ball more regularly, taking those hard hit ups and, getting up over that sort of 100, 150, 200 metre mark, working his ass off and making himself hard to tackle every single time he runs the ball. So I think he's got a bit of development to go, but I'm looking forward to seeing what he does. Now that he's getting his NRL debut, he should be fired up for it, because I know every single one on this panel, if we got the chance to make our NRL debut for the mighty St George Illawarra Dragons, we might not have the talent, but we would certainly have the fire in our belly to go out there and give it everything we got. So that's what we want to see.
Be interesting to see how long Peter does get on the field as well. Like how long Flano has him out on the field, and whether he gets 50, 60 minutes, or he just gets 20, 25 minutes for his debut, just to give him a feel of what it's like to play in the top grade, or whether he gives him a long stint. But yeah, it would be interesting to see how Fano uses him.
Yeah, no, I agree, mate. That's always a question mark. I think when you've got a bloke on debut, you almost want to make him the first change. You want to get him into the game early. You don't want him sitting on the bench using up all that nervous energy. You want to get him into the contest as quickly as you can before he like you can run out of puff just sitting on the bench on your NRL debut because you're just thinking about it the whole time. So I think I'd like to see him get into the game nice and early and play decent minutes. All right. Well, what we might do now is we might go for a bit of interaction from the people that are watching and listening online live, and do this one.
Okay, good evening, guys, and welcome to Jags Dragons Trivia for Round 1 2024. So it was mentioned a little bit earlier in when we had Blaze on in behind enemy lines, but my question is tonight. So this is the fourth time we will play the Titans in our first game of the year. So in those three previous occasions, there were 2007, our very first game against the Titans, 2011, and last year. So can you name the scores from the three previous season opening games against the Titans? So fire away in the comments if you can remember those scores.
Do you want the exact scores? You're really testing people's memories out with that one. The exact scores from three times we played the Titans in round 1.
Yep. Well, technically last year was round 2, but yeah.
We've got the 2007,
Andrew
20 to 18 to the Dragons.
One. That's correct.
So that's one. Andrew Kay's knocked one off. What are the other two?
So 2011 and 2023.
Well, that was last year. One
No,
by 18.
That one's not right. Nope.
We didn't play in round 1 last year. We didn't actually play in round 1. It wasn't first game.
Yeah. Yes.
We'll include it.
Anyway, very quiet. James Gray's looking up Google.
That's right. Yeah. Okay, Google.
James Jimmy Gray. Yes, that's
he's
right.
Dropped the Jimmy. He's dropped the Jimmy.
Rugby League Roundup's got the third game, right?
32-18.
Yes, and that we were down 12-0. That when Jacob Little came on, he made a big difference, and we scored all our points practically when Little came on. I think we led at half time, and we were never headed last year. 2011, not very, very close. 2011, very, very close. We did get 25 points Rugby League Roundup. That's right, but the Titans didn't get 18.
Ooh, controversial.
Oh yeah,
very specific.
So close. You wouldn't win the $1 million on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire for that. No, wrong.
I'll put everyone out of their misery. Zephyr's got it.
There we go. Well,
that was 2 weeks after we won the World Club Challenge as well. I remember that game well back in 2011. It was Mitch Rain's NRL debut. Cameron King got injured, and I think it was early that year. And Mitch Rain got his opportunity because of that, and then he went on to make his debut and actually went on to play for both clubs.
Hey, Jesse,
Yes.
what do those people win?
At the moment, just the eternal glory of getting the answer right.
Come on, guys. We need a sponsor for Jag. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, we need a sponsor that's maybe you've got a product that you would love Dragons fans to be able to have, and we can provide that each week to the winner of Jags Dragons trivia. So get in touch if you'd like to provide the prize for Jags Dragons trivia. Maybe even a voucher to your store or whatever it is that you do. Plenty of options there for you if you'd like to give us a prize that we can give the winner. Although I don't know that we had a winner tonight. We had 3 different answers. So
well, 3 prizes. Yeah. What do you do?
Well, no, we might need to do a tiebreaker in situations like that.
True. First one in.
That's something we'll have to discuss. But yeah, normally it's only the one question. But I decided for the first one of the year, I thought I might as well chuck in a triple treat.
Triple treat.
Triple treat indeed. Well, Hasman keeps trying to get in. I keep adding him back in, and it's not working for him. So I don't think we're going to see any more of Hasman tonight. So it's just
he needs to move.
No, he needs to sort out his internet. That's for sure and certain. All right. Well, what we might move into now is having a little bit of a chat about the lower grades. So the New South Wales Cup and also the Jersey Flag. And I'll just try and bring this up. There we go with that one. Get that out of the way. All right. So, there's the team lists for the New South Wales Cup. Well, actually, that's the NRL side that's up there at the moment, not the New South Wales Cup. There's the New South Wales Cup one. So New South Wales Cup side, Matty Feeney at fullback, Sione Finau and Christian Tuapolotu on the wings. Halves parent Josh Ralph, who is Welsh international, and also Jonah Glover, who we've got from the Bulldogs. But prior to the Bulldogs, he was the Queensland Cup Colts Player of the Year. So young player with some pedigree. That's our halves combination. You're not going to know too much about those blokes. But decent forward pack, Alec Tuatavake and Toby Couchman up front. Haeli Finau is at the 9, and then Dylan Egan, Ryan Couchman, and Dan Russell on the bench. Declan Purcell, Jackson Cherub, Josh Corrich, and Thomas Freeman, Cooper Robertson, Levi Pascoe in that extended squad. While the Jersey Flag, Wes plenty of speed out wide. Wes Pring's a real flyer, as is Jack Piccirilli, one of the wingers, along with Kane Barnes. Will Starling and Ben Lavender, the centres. Nick Quinn and Ashton Ward, the halves. A very good-looking front row, Jacob Webster and Jet Liu. Kyan Jolterson is our 9. Hamish Stewart, plenty spoken about him during the off-season and pre-season, a good young player. Named in the second row alongside Campbell Waters, who played a bit in the centres last year. And Matty Alizim is locking the scrum. Trey Barlow will be the 14, with Trevor Barrett Hancock, Callum Lightfall, and Dylan Athanowski. Riley Pascoe is the 18th man for the Dragons. So that's how the New South Wales Cup side and the Jersey Flag side line up. The fact that we've got the NRL side up in Queensland, both games at Collegians on Sunday. A good opportunity to maybe get down and see some lower grades footy. I'm actually going to try and live stream the New South Wales Cup game on this page, but it won't be the greatest of quality. So you can stream it yourself in much better quality via the New South Wales Rugby League TV app, but you do have to pay for that. So that doesn't come for nothing. We'll do it for free. So we take on the Bears, kick-off at 12:15 p.m. That's followed by the Jersey Flag game. For whatever reason, even though it's at the same venue, the Jersey Flag game's not streamed, even if you do pay for it. They take on the Melbourne Storm. In the junior reps, big clash in round 6 of the junior rep is first versus second, with the St George Dragons under-19s SG ball side heading to Woy Woy to take on the undefeated Sydney Roosters. So the St George Dragons and the Sydney Roosters, two clubs not traditionally powerhouses in the junior reps competition, but this year both are flying, and this one at 3 p.m. Saturday. Again, unless you can get to Woy Woy, there's no way of actually seeing this high-quality game. So that's the lower grades for this weekend. We might move into some news and rumours. Let's have a look at some news and rumours. Firstly, some news, Big T. Luciano Leilua will now be available next week after the Dragons appealed his 2-match ban and it's been reduced to a 1-week suspension. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, nice. It gets a little bit closer to what my prediction was a couple of weeks ago, where I said just get a fine. And he got 2 weeks, and I thought I'm a bit far away. Now it's 1 week, so it's closer to that what I said he was going to get. No, that's awesome. The Dragons have actually won something. We've won a week back, so we get to see Luch in round 2 now. If he makes a side, depending on what the round 1 side does, they might come out and absolutely blitz the Titans by 50. And do you change the side and bring Hame Saleh and Luch back? I don't know. It's a good thing for us. We've actually won something under Flano, so it's a plus.
Yeah, personally, I think it's just nice that we had a crack. I didn't even know we were appealing it. And so often we've seen over the last few years that we're everyone's doormat. We just sit there and we cop it. Like we get these shit decisions that every rugby league fan knows is a shit decision, and it's over the top and it's against us, and we just sit there and we cop it. So I think it's absolutely fantastic that we've got in there and we've said, well, we don't actually think this is fair. How about you have another look at it? They've done that and they've gone, you know what, you're right. 1 week's probably enough.
Yeah, that's a plus for us, so that's good.
Absolutely. 100% it's a plus for us. All right. Martha, the other, this one's probably more of a rumour. This one's not as confirmed as the Luciano Leilua one, but Paul Turner looks set to leave the club to head to England, despite Shane Flanagan actually telling him he was free to look for another opportunity. That the Dragons are now concerned about lack of depth in the positions that Turner covers, and Ben Wolfe in particular, who coached him in the Queensland Cup, is a big fan of Paul Turner. He's keen to keep him at the club for at least the 2024 season. How do you see this one playing out? Do you think that we would miss a Paul Turner, or do you think it's a good thing that we sort of let him go?
Well, I think to let him go, he's got to have something else in mind, I guess, because those positions that he can cover, we haven't seen a lot sort of run around in the trial matches to cover those. So he's either got something already in mind, because obviously he was a top 30 player. Can he be replaced? Is there anybody out there to replace him with is probably another question too. But I think that he's certainly got something in mind. But he didn't play a lot of first grade with us. He got a bit of a bagging when he did. But just like everybody, I guess, that plays for the Dragons these days, we don't get much of a rap from us fans. But especially those fringe players like that, I think he's got something up his sleeve. But there's not a lot of pickings out there, is there, at this stage of the season now?
No, there's certainly not. All right, I've got a couple of viewer questions. I've got some comments that I've sort of starred along the way, and I'll go to you with the first one, Big T. It comes from Ravi. He says he's a little bit worried about he's still a bit worried about Jack Bird and his position in the team. Didn't think he was overly impressive last year, and is surprised to see him in the run-on team. What are your thoughts? What would you say to Ravi about the fact that Jack Bird's been named to start in the centres?
Mr. Ravi Krishna Gounder, I'm telling you, Jack Bird's dropped or 6 kilos, according to Shane Flanagan, to play in the centres. So I didn't think he looked too bad at times in the trials. I can see it being a good move, moving Jack Bird to the centres. He's big, he's strong, he can run straight. Well, sometimes he runs across for like a crab, but and a pinball machine sometimes. But yeah, I think it's a good move moving him into the centres. He might not be as fast as he used to be, but I think he's as skillful.
Fantastic. Well, hopefully that sets Ravi's mind at ease. I'll go to you, Jesse, with the next one from Brendan Daly. He's got big concerns over our depth. Thinks our best 17 is pretty good, but if we do have some injuries, do you share the concerns about the Dragons' depth?
I do. Flano's also obviously bolstered our depth in the forwards, but we're very skinny in outside backs, I think, because there's not a lot of experience there apart from our starting backline at the moment. Obviously, the only one that's really had a lot of experience there is Tuapolatu, but I don't think he's even played 50 NRL games. That's where it's lacking. But the forwards, I think we're pretty in good shape, but as you mentioned, we've said a few times in the lead up to this, our depth is really very shallow in the halves and at dummy half. I mean, if we lose Hunt at any stage of the year, we're going to struggle big time. And obviously that might see Flano move to 7. And yeah, I don't think he's a 7, he's more of a 6 in this side. Yeah, it's really going to test us, obviously. Be interesting to see how it goes, but hopefully we have a good run of injuries and can have the same 17 week in, week out to build on combinations, because that's going to be a big part of how we're going to climb the ladder this year if we are to do so.
Yeah, no, I think you see it most years that the teams that finish up near the top of the ladder and are challenging at the back end of the year are those teams that don't have too many injuries. If you have a lot of injuries, it doesn't really matter who you are. You're going to struggle. But you know, I think you have to go in with your plan A, and that's what we've got this year. We've still got quite a few players that Flano would be happy to get rid of and get off their current contracts and look to replace with better, younger players that play more in the style that he wants to play in. So I think it's a work in progress, but the fact that we're reasonably confident now with our starting 17, I think is a good place to be in. So depth is certainly a concern. Jesse talked about outside backs. My biggest concern is in key positions. That 1, 6, 7, 9, there's not a lot of depth in those positions, and that definitely worries me if we have any issues there. I think even our first string is somewhat questionable in quite a few of those positions. Right, Muzza. Another question from Ravi wants to know our thoughts on Dan Russell. He would like to see him being part of our 17. I reckon he can deliver if given some space and time. Are you a Dan Russell fan? Are you disappointed not to see him as part of the extended squad at least?
No, not really. I think with the 17 or 22 that we've got there, I honestly don't think there's a spot for him in that 17 to 19, to be honest. So I don't know a lot about him, to be honest. I haven't seen a lot. I've been on and off this year, as you all know. So I haven't sort of seen a lot of the footy, especially in those trial games. I've been up and down, but I think with the names that we've got in there, I think that especially in the forwards, like you said, we've got a little bit of depth in the forwards as it is. So I don't think he's got a spot there, to be honest, at the moment.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you, mate. I think Dan Russell he's a toiler. He's a guy that won't let you down, but he does not excite me. If I see Dan Russell's name in our 17, in our 22, anywhere near our squad, I think we're in a lot of trouble, because I don't know that he brings all that much other than not doing a lot wrong. But he doesn't do a great deal right either. He doesn't excite me at all. So I'm not a huge fan. Ravi obviously is, and he's entitled to that opinion. But Dan Russell, I'd like to see him struggling to make our reserve grade team, if I'm honest. Big T, the last question we've got that's come through that I've starred is from Jamie Van Hurl. He wants to know, do you have confidence in Sloan for round one?
Yes, if Flanell let him do what he does. He's a little bit structured at the moment, but I think we just got to let him loose. And I think round one, ideal time. So I'm confident in Tyrell Sloan.
Right, I'll just flick back over to the live comments, and we've got one that's come through from Brendan Daly that I might go to you with Jess while we're doing this this little segment. We need to start planning for life without Hunt. We've kind of spoken about this several times before, and I think I did a long rant when Rob asked the same question a couple of weeks ago. But what are your thoughts in terms of who's next to replace Ben Hunt?
Well, you mentioned Cade Reid previously on the pod. Whether or not he's ready by then, we're going to be 2025, 26. Whether you're ready to push him up and give him some experience so he's not overawed when he gets his chance, or whether they go out and shop and look for another young half at another club that can't make his way through and look to get him into first grade with us. There's not a lot of quality playmakers out there, to be honest, at the moment, and with the recent addition of the Dolphins last year, that's really contracted players long term to those clubs as well. So they have to find some more extra players to find them. Whether or not where we can find a solution to replace Hunt, that's going to be a difficult task. But I'm sure Flano has an idea of what the future looks like without Ben Hunt in the Red V.
Yeah, I don't have it all in front of me at the moment, but I went through and I had a look at every halfback and 5'8" and even fullback that's off contract for the 2025 season, and there is shit tins of them. There are heaps of halfbacks that are off contract. Whether any of them are going to come to the Dragons, who knows? But there's no doubt that there is plenty that we can have a crack at, and plenty that we'll be talking to and trying to get to the club. We do need to start thinking about who is next after Ben Hunt, whether that's Cade Reid or a Lycan King Togia or somebody like that's already in our system. I have my doubts about whether those two are going to develop into NRL players longer term. They've got a lot of work to do, in my opinion, but they've got a bit about them. Cade Reid in particular, if he fills out physically, is a very, very talented halfback and a good organiser. But at the moment, he's nowhere near ready, not even close to being thought of. So I think we'll go to market. I think we'll sign somebody. We don't know who that's going to be. So we have no idea who's next. Buzzer, we've got one from Mad Lad. He wants to know our thoughts on Billy Slater saying we are the most physical team in the competition and thinks we can climb the ladder. I don't know if that's exactly what he said either.
Yeah, okay. Most physical team in the comp. I don't know who we've been watching, but we finished second last. That's probably the answer to that. Can climb the ladder? Yeah, obviously we all think we can climb the ladder. We're all a little bit more confident this year. But look, at the end of the day, and I've said it in our chats and stuff, I don't give a shit what Billy Slater says. I don't give a shit what Gus says. I don't give a shit what the bloke down the road says about this team. It's what they show out on the paddock, and all these blokes can have all their opinions, and that's great. But it's just that's their opinions. We think we can climb the ladder. We've all said it. We're all pretty confident. We're all looking forward to a big improvement this year, and we probably, in saying we're the most physical team, we need to be up there and physical in the forwards. Otherwise, we're going to get towered up like we have been. So. But, we definitely can be.
Yeah, you need to be the team that physically other teams don't want to play. You need to go out there and legally hurt the other players. Big hits. Just be tough, be hard.
I don't think any side was concerned about playing us last year.
No. But we've seen in the trials that we can big hit. We've got the players.
Flana's using a physical style of play, it looks like.
That's right, yeah. We've got to be the team. I've got to be a team that other teams do not want to play because we come off the field hurt. So I'm not saying intentionally hurt them, but I'm just saying with big hits, you rattle a couple of ribs.
And they need to make dents into the defensive line as well. Like people that can break the defensive line, put holes in them, and like you mentioned Fafita, you want him to put holes in the line and make them feel sore when they tackle them. Take them 4 or 5 blokes to put them down. We haven't had that for quite some time.
Yeah,
well, that's what the game's all about. That's what we've got to be doing.
Muzz?
I would say that's what the game's all about. Like, you know, the best teams do it week in, week out. You know, we do it once every 5 or 6 weeks, and you know, sometimes we get a win, sometimes we just miss out. But it's you know, I might have misread that question to Mad Lad. I'm not sure whether he was talking about whether Billy was talking about this year so far or last year. I was sort of going on.
No, Billy Slater more or less said that he didn't say we're the most physical team in the competition. He said we're a very physical team. He more or less said, like, looking at the way that we played in the trials, he doesn't think we're a team that are going to beat themselves. We're a team that physically is going to be in the contest, and we're really going to take it up to other teams. That's the way he's reading it, and he doesn't think that he's like Gus Gould, doesn't think there's any chance that we get the wooden spoon this year.
Yeah, I might apologise.
I watched that podcast too. I watched that too. He said we could be the biggest improvers this year, based on what he's seen in the trials and what he's seen so far.
Yeah, well, I mean, we can go from 16th to 10th and be the biggest improvers. So, I mean, that'd be okay. But I think ultimately we should be wanting to aim a bit higher. Yeah, but 16th to 10th would certainly be an improvement and heading in the right direction. All right, well, we might take a little bit of a break from Dragons chat, and we'll talk about the rest of the games this weekend. And at the back end of it, we'll do this.
All I want, all I need, all I crave is a big multi. All I want, all I need, all I crave is a big multi. London multi.
All right, well, kicking off on Thursday night is the Newcastle Knights against the Canberra Raiders. For the Knights, Tyson Gamble retains his spot at 5'8", despite the arrival of Jack Cogger, while for the Raiders, rookie Ethan Strange has beaten KO Weeks for the 5'8" spot. Knights have won the last 3 between the clubs, including a surprisingly close elimination final last year. Newcastle are $1.40 and Canberra $2.94. I'll go to you first of all, Jesse. What's your tip, and what do you think is the best bet for us to chuck in our multi from this game?
Looking at the two sides on paper, on the venue, it's same venue as that elimination final last year. I'm going to favour the Knights. It's going to be in front of 30,000 people up at McDonald Jones Stadium. I think the Knights are going to wave the right of that, and I think they're going to get home. I'm going to go the Knights by 10, and I think I'd back. I'm going to go Bradman Best to try at any stage in the game. That's my tip for a try. That's my tip.
Absolutely.
And I'll go the Knights head-to-head as well.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the Knights win this comfortably. I don't think the 7.5 start is enough, so I'd be taking the $1.82 and chucking that in. All right, so Friday at 6 p.m. New South Wales time is the New Zealand Warriors against the Cronulla Sharks. With no chance, Nickel Klukstar. It was thought that Roger Tuivasa-Sheck might start the year at fullback, but youngster Tane Tuapiki gets the custodian role with RTS in the centres. For the Sharks, they've got a big boost with Nico Hines fit and expected to play. A lot of people talk about the Melbourne Storm's round 1 record, but the Sharks, Well, theirs is pretty poor. They've lost 9 of their last 10 round 1 fixtures. Warriors are at $1.51, Sharks $2.56. I'll go to you, Big T, because Hasman's not here. What's your tip and what's your best bet for this game?
I'm going to go the Wars. Best bet for this game, I think it's going to be Dallin Matuni. So there's now scored 2 tries. I think the Wars will just be, not like you're saying they lost 9 out of the last 10, the Sharks. So, yeah, I think the Wars will do it over in NZ.
Yeah, it's it's funny. You've gone the same way as me with the best bet from this game. Dallin Watene-Zelezniak has scored in each of his last 4 games against the Sharks. So I've gone the more conservative option, the anytime try score at $1.71, but it wouldn't be much. He'd be about that short to score 2 or more as well, I reckon.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And him and Roger Chuvashishek working together too. That's it's going to be an unbelievable combination.
Well, I'll stick with you for the next one. The main course on Friday night is Melbourne against Penrith. The Storm have named Cameron Munster, but he's no certainty to line up in the 6, while Penrith have also named Sunia Taruva with a bit of a question mark over him. The Storm's round one record is much spoken about, and we spoke about it a bit on our last show, but Penrith aren't big fans of going to Melbourne. The Panthers have they won at Etihad Stadium last year, but they've got just 1 win from 8 appearances at AAMI Park and only 2 from 10 at Olympic Park. All up, they are 4 wins from 20 trips to the Victorian capital. The Storm are outsiders at $2.40. The Panthers favourites at $1.57. Big T, do you think all these records are made to be broken by the defending premiers, or are you going with the hoodoo and sitting on the Storm?
Yeah, I don't know how many times the Storm has played the premiers from the previous year in round 1.
Well, they played the grand finalists a couple of years ago. I don't know about the defending premiers, but yeah, they've played us a couple of times too.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. That'll be interesting to have a look at. But I think the Panthers, they've lost a few players over the last 3 years. They've lost 14 players out of their 2021 or included players. They've lost Crichton, they've lost Lenu, they've lost Salmon, they've lost Coco, Zach Hoskins. They've signed Dane Laurie, Brad Snyder, and Paul Alamotti. I think Melbourne will continue. Penrith, they didn't look good in the World Club Challenge, even though they were ripped off a bit, I think. But no, I think I'm going to stick with Melbourne in Melbourne. That's it, yeah.
Does that change if Cameron Munster's scratched, or would you stick with it anyway?
No, I don't think so. There's a young bloke down there that they used last year that just straight to the side, I think. So,
John Pezzett.
That's him, Pezzett.
Not Troy.
Straight in. They all play the same style of game or a similar game, so we'll just slot into the side. They're the same as the Penrith, Penrith system, where they've got players that slot in. But I don't think Penrith will do it this time.
Sorry, you caught me mid-sip. You stopped as I was mid-sip there, Big T. But either way, I don't think I don't think there's going to be much in this game. Both teams will be well prepared and well organised. So I think the Storm with 4.5 start would be my go-to. I'm a little bit more conservative than Muzzer, though, so we'll have to see what he chucks in his multi. Now, we might get a bit of an indication with this one. Parramatta and Canterbury kick off Saturday's proceedings. I don't think there's too many surprises for Parramatta in the team they've named. Morgan Harper joining the Eels this year, getting a spot in the centres. While for the Dogs, former Dragons lower grader Palasa Farmasili gets a start in the front row. So that's an interesting one. The other interesting one, well, Jamin Salmon starting at lock with Josh Curran on the bench, that's got me scratching my head, if I'm honest. Parramatta have won 13 of the last 16 against their arch rivals, and the bookies have that record extending with Parramatta at $1.44, the Dogs at $2.80. Mother, are the bookies on the money, or will it be another underdog, excuse the pun, getting up in round one?
Yeah, no, I think they're going to be on the money. I think the Eels have got they've got a lot to prove after last year's debacle of a season for them, as they probably see it. Yeah, look, well, they're $1.44 favourites. I think the Eels will triumph over the Dogs. The Dogs are still sort of trying to piece their team together, or piece their club together. You know, they don't get it right this year, there's going to be a hell of a lot of questions asked about the whole organisation, I guess, and the coaching. You know, they can disintegrate as far as I'm concerned. I hope they lose every game, the bloody Dogs. But yeah, I think Para with the line. I think the line 6.5. Anytime try scorer, I think Will Penaseni, and I think look for a big game from Dylan Brown. Also out to make a name for himself again after putting behind all of his misdemeanors from last year. So I think they've got a lot to prove, Parramatta, and I think they will get up over the Dogs.
Yep, fantastic. Well, yeah, for me, the last 6 games between these two teams have been decided by 13 plus. Admittedly, the Bulldogs did win one of them. So they don't seem to have a lot of close games, at least in recent times. I think the Eels will win this, and because they're going to win it, I'm going to go with the Eels 13 plus at 265. We'll skip the Dragons game, as we will do our tips for that one in a minute, and we'll do our full predictions for that game. So we'll go straight to the Sunday game, which is the Dolphins versus the Cowboys. The improved depth of the Dolphins, for me, is on display when you look at their extended bench, with Jared Wallace, Jake Averillo, Ewan Aitken, and Isaiah Katoa all missing the 17 on their extended bench. While for the Cowboys, there was some speculation after their last trial that Kulikepu Funifawaki may miss the 17, but he has won a spot on the bench. The visiting Cowboys will start favourites in this game at $1.46 rather, while the Dolphins at home are $2.74. Jesse, who wins and why?
I'm going for an upset here. I'm going for the Finns. I think the Finns will really be up for this. Obviously, this time last year was their first game in the NRL, but playing at Suncorp Sunday afternoon, Wayne always likes his team starting the season well, and I think he'll have the Dolphins fired up for a big crowd up at Suncorp on Sunday afternoon, and I think I think the Dolphins can unsettle the Cowboys. I mean, you highlighted that Kulikepu Funifawaki was a surprise inclusion there. I'm surprised that Thomas McKaylee wasn't an inclusion on their 17, especially when Cohen Hess out for the season with an ACL. Thomas McKaylee looked impressive in the trials, bringing that impact off the bench, and I thought he was a shoo-in for a bench on the spot on the bench. But with the introduction of Flegler and Farnworth to the Dolphins, that will no doubt provide some spark. Flegler will provide some big go forward for their pack, and he could be the leader of that pack for 10 years or more. And then Herbie Farnworth gives some X factor and speed out wide. I think the Dolphins can get home in a tight one, and I think Wayne will have them really ready to go.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I mean, that's a good point you made about McKaylee. I've seen a lot of people wondering how his previous club managed to let him go, because he had been very impressive in the trials, but missing a spot in the 17. That's a good pickup from you, Jess. All right, well, for me, I actually like this game as a same-game multi. Last time these two teams played, every player in the back five for the Cowboys scored a try, while Jermaine Azarko has scored 5 tries in the 2 games that these two clubs have played against each other. So I'd be going anytime scorers Kyle Felt, Valentine Holmes and Jermaine Azarko with overs for the match points at 16.75. But it's not about me. It's not about what I'd do. This is Muzz's multi. If we ever win a multi, all our profit goes to Family of League Foundation. And for this week's multi to cheer on, let's go over to Muzzer. What have you got for us, mate?
Okay, well, hopefully we get off to a better start than last year, where we won. I think total. Donnie, can you confirm this was 0?
Hang on, I'll just do the math. Hang on.
0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0.
Yeah, no, you got it right. You've
Cool.
done the mental math well, mate.
All right, I've got something right. Right, I know this is it's a new year. I've done some studying, so Family League. My apologies for last year, but here we go. So yeah, the Knights and Raiders, Bradman best for any time try scorer. One of the Warriors game, I'm going anytime try scorer again, Sean Johnson, just for a little bit of value there, but he always pops up every now and then. If he can produce a form of last year, obviously. I've gone against my own rule where I add the Dragons game in any of my multis, but I've tipped Zach Lomax to be an anytime try scorer also. Out there on the wing, I think probably a better chance.
Well, your previous rules weren't working, mate, so you may as well break it.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Like, they've broken my rule now, so things are about to change. And you mentioned also, Donnie, with the big scoring in that Dolphins and Cowboys, hopefully 41-50. I think it'd be a high scoring game, as long as it's not too high, in between that 41 and 50. And I think for a $95 dividend. So on that, hopefully we get off to a good start, and hopefully we can get some money to put aside for the Family League. It's a great cause, and hopefully we can do them some good for a change.
Fantastic, mate. Well, we'll keep the multi scrolling along the bottom of the screen there for anyone who wants to get on it. It's a certain money maker. Mother never misses.
No, seriously, it's a given, but just don't bet with your head. Well, what is it? Bet with
your head not over it.
That's the one.
Gamble responsibly.
What else could you spend the money on?
Well, that's right.
What else would you spend the money on? Garbage. Garbage is what you spend it on.
The more you bet, the more you get back. No, we shouldn't be saying that. We're not allowed to say that.
No, we should.
The deposit limit, as Joel Kane says.
Yes.
That's right. Deposit limit. Sorry, T.
The more you bet, the more you lose. That's what it is.
That's right. That's the one.
We know what it is. We're just having a little bit of fun, but don't have too much fun. Don't bet what you can't afford. And
exactly.
We know it's a serious problem for a lot of people, even though we do joke and muck around. But we only chuck a couple of bucks a week each in and have a bit of fun. We're certainly not spending the grocery bill on Muzz's multi. Otherwise, I'd be a lot skinnier than I am.
And we're certainly not winning it either.
Yeah. All right. Well, prediction time now for our game: the Dragons versus the Titans. Again, we do like to mix this up, do it a little bit differently. So let's say who wins, why they win, what's the margin. We want the first try scorer and an anytime try scorer, not just from the Dragons, but also from the opposition. Big T, take us through your thoughts on the Dragons game and how it plays out.
Well, I've already said what I think the Dragons, what the score's going to be. Dragons are going to win 28-10. I think we win with our strength outside the outside backs. Jack Bird's very strong. Lomax is skillful. Sully and Rava are absolute machines. Sully's lost, I think it's 8 to 10 kilos and put more muscle on what Flanagan's been doing with him in the off-season. He's been working him like a bull. So I think first try scorer will be Jack Bird. He'll come off a nice ball from Ben Hunt. Anytime try scorer Rava. I think Rava will score maybe 2 this game. For the Titans, I think Boyd will score. And I said they're going to score 10 points, so it's going to be 2 tries and 1 goal. And Tino Fa'asumala'awi to score 1 try. So that's my wrap-up on the game, or my predictions.
Fantastic. Well, I might jump in and go next. I think the Dragons win. I think we're far too good for the Titans. I don't like the look of their team at all. I think we win comfortably. I think we win by 20 points. I've got first try scorer as Tyrell Sloan. Moses Sully will also score for us. He might score a couple. I'll go Bo Firma to score for the Titans if they score at all. So that's my predictions. All right, Muzzer, what are yours?
Well, of course, the Dragons are going to win. Look, I just think I think if the forward pack can get over them, I think we're a really good chance. I don't think I'm not as confident as you, Donnie, as you always are, but I am confident we'll win without a doubt.
He says we're going to run last, Muzzer. That's not confidence.
Who said?
No, I've changed that.
He's being
I've
a
changed
realist.
that already, Big T.
Oh, sorry.
He's becoming a realist.
Yeah.
I've been fourth last now.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I think that the forward pack have really got to set the foundation early. You know, the first game of the year, and they do that. And those backs, Sloan, Lomax, and they can just feed off it. Zach Lomax for me will be the first try scorer. Tyrell Sloan, anytime try scorer. And again, if the Titans manage to get on the board, Khan Pierre, I think, out wide as well, will tick one over. Margin, I was going to say Dragons by 4, but after Blazers carry on at the start of the show, I'm going to say now it's 24.
Hey! And the Zach Lomax try, Muzzer, is that going to come from a Ben Hunt bomb?
No, it'll come from a Jack Bird flick pass, no look flick pass.
Oh, Jack Bird flick pass. Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Oh, whoever's on that side, whoever's on his side, Sully.
Still be nice. No, I think it's Jack Bird. Because Sully's a rivalry.
But I really want to. When we do win this, I really want to just see Blake's face at full time. Blazer's face.
Well, we've got a couple in the comments. Andrew Kay said he wants to see Sua score. He's played his heart out the last 2 trials and reckons the Dragons 1-12. Lisa Cooper with the Dragons by 8 with first try to Ben Hunt. And Dean J. Toomer has Sully with a try for sure.
Nice.
Jesse, you're the last cab off the rank. What are your thoughts and predictions for this game?
I'm with you, Donnie. I think I don't see where the Titans can get us really. I think the Dragons can win this one. I think our power game will really suit us, and no one's really spoke about the warmer conditions. It's going to be up there on the Goldie, so that's going to take some time to adjust. Hope that guys got there a bit early to acclimatise to that. But I think the Dragons they'll get up by 12. I'll go Jaden Sewer to be a try. He'll score a try at any stage. He looks really raring to go, and he was man of the match in that trial against the Tigers. I think he'll have a big game. Would have been great to see him up against Fafita. That would have been a mouth-watering matchup. And I think I'm going to go Moses Sully to go for the first try. I think he looks really fit too, and he looks raring for a breakout year. He hasn't really had one since he's been with us, but I think Flano is really urging him to be a good player and realise what potential he has got and finally deliver on it. And I think he'll have a big one as well. I think the Dragons here by 12. And I think Lomax will kick all his goals and get one over Blaze. I know Blaze gave it to Zach Lomax last year up on the Goldie when he missed the goal to win the game, could have won us the game. So I think Lomax will get his revenge on Blaze.
Well, fantastic. It's nice to see Dragons fans nice and confident. Well, for anyone who stuck around, this might be a little bit of a preview into what my game day video is going to sound like on Saturday. For round 1, and this is the most positive build-up to to round one, I can remember in a number of years. It's unsettling. It's a little disconcerting to see Dragons fans happy and confident heading into a game, but it's impossible not to be swept up in the vibe. I love it. This Titans team looks trash. I don't see how they hold us. I don't see how they stop us. If we get any momentum going, I worry about how many Titans players are going to get seriously hurt. Get out of the way! Protect yourselves! The Dragons train is coming!
Yes.
Even Tino's got no chance.
Fire!
Nice.
Red V's a part of me.
As Master tells tales of Dragons wins and showdown victory. Tony and the MP crew will do their very best. Getting off topic and I digress with a red V on our chest. The Mad Dragon podcast is a sheep of rivalry. Navigating rants down rabbit holes in the land of big red V. And so our paddlers speak the tales and our pursuit is our dream. The Mad Dragon podcast,